Hi everybody. I wanted to share just a little bit of information with you about a few veterinary students and recent veterinary graduates that I think you should get to know because I've had the opportunity to get to know them and they're amazing folks. So the first person I'll share with you is Dr. Zach Tooley. And so he was the national SAVMA president when he was a veterinary student. And he is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin School of Veterinary Medicine. So he graduated in 2023, and he has actually spent time now, he's in the military, so he's actually in the Army. And so it's really neat to have seen and gotten to work with Zach, and even more than the work that he's doing now in the military, which I think we should be really proud of him for. I wanted to just share a little bit of a story with you about some time that I got to interact with him. And so I think that Zach is a very even-keeled person. When you meet him, he's very calm energy, but he also came up against some really challenging things during his time as a SAVMA leader. And what I came away from that with is just really appreciating what a authentic and what an ethical and moral person he is. And so I don't know that he would ever truly share any of that about himself. I shared in the blog that I wrote about how he, was involved in wrestling from an early age through high school and things. And I know he's, probably very comfortable sharing those things, but he came up against some hard things and he did a really awesome job. And if you are a current student or if you are a recent graduate or if you're a practicing veterinarian or you're working in some other aspect of veterinary medicine, I think you should be really proud. And so if you get the opportunity to meet Dr. Tooley along the way, please tell him what a wonderful person he is, because he is. So that's one person I want to share with you. The next person I want to share with you is Dr. Max Paulson. So Max is a 2024 graduate from the University of Illinois, and he is currently studying at Colorado State. So he's in a rotating internship year, and I think contemplating going down the path of oncology in terms of specialization. So it was really fun to get to know Max, and he and I sort of teased that probably the two of us together could be a little bit dangerous, and we had an awesome time. And the things that I felt like Max really stood up for during his time as SAVMA president were associated with topics around diversity, equity, inclusion. Those were really important to him and important to his full board. It's not like you just make a single decision as the SAVMA president. And so I really appreciated the way his board got to think through some topics and come up with some decisions. And I suspect that he and they are all going to carry that through their work as veterinarians and as soon to be veterinarians. I know most of that group has graduated, but some will be coming up soon. And so I just really wanted to share with you, what a fun person he was to work with, but also to share with you that he had some important topics that were really top of mind for him, and I think did a great job in handling some challenging conversations. The third person I'm going to introduce you to of four is Miss Tara Fellows Barron, and so she is a current fourth year or clinical year veterinary student. She attends Lincoln Memorial and is based originally, I think, from Florida. I'm not going to remember what city. I'm terrible about that. Tara has some things that are really interesting for her to deal with throughout her year as SAVMA president, which she's currently serving as. And she's got a background coming from some business and some sort of corporate things that she did prior to engaging in veterinary school. And so again, she brings a really different mindset to this than anyone else would, right? Like, we're all individuals. But I do think that she has done a great job of engaging with her fellow board members. And I think she's done a really great job in the time that I've been able to spend with her, reaching out and able to represent the student body as a whole, and to represent them to the AVMA board of directors as well. And so I don't know where she's going to wind up. I think she's got a few opportunities in front of her, and I think probably right now all of her attention is set on NAVLE. It's that time of year. And so if you meet Tara, and you probably will, she's a big personality. She's always got a smile. She's always willing to chat. And what I love about her is that she's willing to sort of challenge a conversation And so there have been times when I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? But also at the end of that, really glad that we had the conversation. So I hope you get a chance to meet with her. And then the fourth and final person that I'll introduce to you in this sort of leadership of SAVMA is Mr. Kyle Frett, and he is currently a third-year veterinary student at Tuskegee. And so I think I'm supposed to say TU, I'm not quite good enough at that, but he is a student down at Tuskegee and is really interested in doing equine surgery. And so I think he's really also on the path like Max is down towards specialization. Kyle grew up in the British Virgin Islands, and so I think there are a lot of like cultural and contextual things that are always a little interesting for him to have to navigate, but I think he's doing a great job with that. And there are a lot of topics of importance to him, and I'll be really curious to see what his presidential year with SAVMA ultimately looks like. That'll begin next March, but I do think that if you have an opportunity to meet him, he's really gregarious personality. There are a lot of folks that will tend to be around him. He and I like to say that we're good trouble together. Hopefully I can share that, Kyle. And so I just think that, these are really awesome leaders, and they're doing a lot on top of their veterinary school education. They are truly helping to represent nearly 20,000 veterinary students from the US and beyond, all of the SAVMA schools. And it's a big job, and they're not doing it on their own. They've got support, but I also just want to present to you that these are really amazing people. They are a couple of now veterinarians and a couple of soon to be veterinarians. And so if you get a chance to meet Zach or Max or Tara or Kyle, I hope you'll take an opportunity to thank them for the work that they did for the student organizations, and I expect that we will see them all in leadership roles in the future as well. And so I want to express my thanks to each of them for the opportunity to work with them. It's been awesome to be a small, tiny little piece of their journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they will offer and bring to the world of vet med as we move forward. So with that, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. It's headed into the weekend for me, and so thank you so much, and would love to hear some feedback on how you feel like the content is going. I'm still learning. I'm going to continue on this journey and be as much of me as I can be, and also continue to share with you what I think is important for us all to think about in veterinary medicine, whether you agree or disagree with some of the decisions that are made. I think it's important that we all at least are comfortable coming to the table and having a conversation. So if you get a chance, tell Max and Zach and Tara and Kyle hello and thank you. And with that, I will sign off